I ask one final time. Leave this vault and the things you have seen. You cannot change what has happened here. Leave me to this cold and lonely place.
The card doesn't work? Blackburn must have overridden the door codes. Probably guessed the looters might find a key card eventually if they had the run of the place. From here? If I had more tools, time, and some schematics, sure. Under the circumstances, we'll have to get creative. These doors are hydraulically sealed. If we can find the lines that feed to this door, we might be able to cut the pressure holding it shut. Look for a utility room nearby. This should be it. Take a look. See if you could find the lines to the Overseer's office. Well, that's certainly one way to do it. The door should be open now.
It appears neither the Vault defenses nor the Blood Eagles were a match for you. Quite formidable. You can lower your weapons. It would clearly be futile for me to struggle, and I surrender willingly. Contrary to what you may think, I did not lie to you when we spoke at Fort Atlas. I did say it would be difficult for a layperson to understand. What you call insanity is merely the regrettable necessity of my work. That it condemns me in your eyes, or consigns me to whatever hell may exist, is a price I pay willingly. I have ensured the future of humanity, not just in Appalachia, but the world. No cost is too high for this. Were it possible to achieve it without the suffering of innocence, I would have done so.
After seeing what you've done here, I hope hell does exist.
Despise me if you will. I took no pleasure in what had to be done. FEV was never intended to be a source of abominations and grotesqueries. It was to be the next step in human evolution, our refinement into something greater and better. Certainly the fools at West-Tek were more obsessed with observing its failures than correcting them. But its true purpose was for good, and now it will fulfill that purpose. Because of me.
Listening to this is making me understand Shin's point of view.
This is true. I wish it could have been avoided. It was easier and safer, for myself, if not for others, to release those failures before their metamorphosis was complete. I had work to finish, and I knew the Brotherhood was out there to deal with the errors.
Your errors tunneled into Fort Atlas and could have killed everyone!
Is that so? It seems my failures were indeed steps on the road to success. That level of coordination suggests an increase in cognitive development over the typical example. Still, I bear the Brotherhood no ill will. My apologies for that. I am sure your Brotherhood will happily interrogate me until I have no tale left to tell. I will be entirely forthcoming, though I expect you will want to conduct your inquisition within confines more amenable to the Brotherhood. As for the contents of this vault, the Brotherhood is free to collect anything they like. My work here is finished.
I don't like the sound of that.
Do you believe I did this all blindly? Groping madly in the bodies of the innocent for some unknown and hallucinatory secret? With each iteration, each test conducted, I identified flaws in the virus and calculated their removal. I have no doubt in my work.
It sounds like you haven't actually tested your perfect virus.
There are steps being taken as we speak. Any miscalculations that might exist are minor and will be addressed shortly. I have no doubt that you do. As you wish. And yet you will not, will you? The Brotherhood is an iron fist when enforcing its mission. But you did not come all this way simply to put a bullet in my skull. Besides, My death can no longer stop my work. Yes, I assumed as much when you entered. Very well. Consider me arrested, if you must. I am ready to face any judgment the Brotherhood wishes to mete out. My work here is complete regardless, and it is too late for you to stop it. Simply that I have achieved my goal. The FEV is perfected, and it is too late for you to change that. My sacrifices, the terrible things I have done to accomplish this, it has been paid in full, and now salvation awaits humanity.
What? You can't do anything with it now. We've caught you. You're finished.
Have I given you any reason to believe I have not already taken the necessary action?
Okay, that's not good.
Do you think I take any pleasure or pride in that fact? Think what you will, but I am not inhuman. Had I been capable of accomplishing my goal without them, I would have done so. I am neither a sadist nor a homicidal maniac. I do not expect forgiveness. But I am certain what I have done will bear sufficient consequence without fabricating new sins to hang upon me. I have completed it. I turned a flawed miscreation into something that will heal an ill and wounded humanity. But if by that you mean, what have I done with the result? It is no longer here. I have associates. They are even now finalizing the mechanisms of its distribution. You are too late.
Paladin Romani needs to hear about this immediately.
Let me go. Had I committed any offense of which you could possibly have been aware? Ah, yes. The interrogation before my interrogations continues. Go on. It would be pointless for me to resist at this stage. What will you do now? Yes, I assumed as much when you consider me arrested. My work here is complete regardless, and it is too late for you to stop. I am at your disposal then.
You can head out. I'll radio for a team to secure the site and get the prisoners to safety. Then bring Blackburn back to the fort. I'm sure the others are going to have a lot of questions for him. Good work, Initiate. I'm glad you were here. You should be getting back to Fort Atlas, Initiate.
Personal log, Dr. Edgar Blackburn, Huntersville. I should never have allowed Dumont to convince me to stay with Westtech when they shuttered the Greenhouse Initiative. The Panimmunity variant was intended to shield us from biological warfare and make the population safe from the horrors war could unleash. The Greenhouse Initiative turned the same work to feeding the ever-increasing starving masses. Noble goals and worthy science. The discovery of the FEV abandoned all that. The awesome potential of the virus, what it could do if harnessed to those same ends. Ignored. Instead, they saw a weapon. Super soldiers. Small-minded bureaucrats and their pet scientists had the keys to human evolution and saw only profit in war. Dr. Khan, a disgrace to that title, took over. And even those miserable goals were cast aside in favor of the perverse. Infecting the water supply of Huntersville just to observe the effects? Why? We knew the virus in its current state produced horrors. Had we been looking for a cure, perhaps it could have been justified. But Khan had no such interest. He did it because he could. Were I a better man, a better scientist, I would have left immediately. My belated resignation does me little credit. End log.
If you're looking to make a difference,
The mutant attack was my first time in real combat. Something tells me it won't be my last.
I have been fully compliant with your questioning. Threats are not required.
With everything you've done, you're lucky I'm only threatening you right now.
Please, this argument is getting us nowhere.
Initiate, you're back. Maybe you can help me talk some sense into Romani here. We've been going over what happened at Vault 96 and interrogating our prisoner. This smug monster is practically bragging about torture and unleashing horrors on the world. And Romani is treating him with kid gloves.
I am not bragging. What I have done was necessary. I take no pride in those terrible acts. I will have to live with the shame of them forever. That weight does not, however, diminish that the ends were worth the means. You will learn that soon enough. My colleagues will see that our creation, a vast improvement on the FEV, is distributed shortly.
Do you see the arrogance, the self-justification? We should end him and be done with it. And what jury wouldn't find this man guilty? You saw what he did with your own eyes.
Preventing Dr. Blackburn's associates from taking this horror any further must be our priority. And we may need the doctor to convince them.
My colleagues have a facility better suited to final testing and mass production of the virus. As we speak, they are preparing for its release into the air and water of Appalachia. Once dispersed, it will enter the precipitation cycle in groundwater, and then it cannot be stopped.
No! It could spread for hundreds, maybe thousands of miles!
My colleagues have a laboratory hidden beneath the headquarters of my former employer, West Tech. We intend to correct the FEV's mistakes at their birthplace. Poetically appropriate, would you not agree?
Yes. If the doctor's associates are preparing to distribute the virus, we have to put our emotions aside here and get to them before they can. Blackburn's punishment, whatever its form, can wait until Appalachia is safe. Head to West Tech. Find and secure the entrance to this lab, and we'll follow behind.
I don't like this, Romani. We should be done with him here and now and level this laboratory. This is just like what Elder Maxim faced at Mariposa. Or have you forgotten?
Elder Maxon came to regret acting rashly there. Or have you forgotten?
If they've already begun producing the virus, blowing up the place could just help spread it. We'll need to be a bit more delicate than that.
Very well. If Blackburn is coming with us, I will be watching him. Perhaps he can provide leverage against his fellow lunatics.
If I can prevent further loss of life, I will.
Then it's decided. Initiate, head for West Tech. We've no time to lose. See you there.